Welcome to the Bank First Ranger Hour. Super Talk Mississippi 93.7 Spotlight on Northwest Community College. And you can listen to our live stream at supertalknorthms.com. Just click on the link for the Bank First Ranger Hour. Now, here's your host, Gary Darby.
Also, if you can't stick around for the entire hour that we will discuss Northwest Community College later on today, anywhere you go to podcasts to listen, you can do so with this program, the Bank First Ranger Hour. So hopefully you'll be able to stick with us, and you'll be able to listen to the District Director of Fine Arts Instruction, Dr. John Hagan. There are 4 fine art events still remaining in the semester, plus some other things we may get into with Dr. Hagan after the break. Around 9:35, wide receiver coach Scott Oakley will be on with us from the Northwest football program. They're sitting back waiting after winning another MACCC title, currently ranked number 4 in the country. We'll talk about the football team. We'll talk about what is possible next for the Rangers. So fine arts to begin, fine football after that, and then I will also update you on the other football. The Northwest women's soccer team will be in action in 53 minutes in one of the semifinals in the NJCAA Division II Women's Soccer National Championships, trying to defend that title. We give you all the details on that. Basketball rolling along. Men and women playing here either tonight or tomorrow. All of that information comes your way on this program. A Thursday, November 20th. Now, remember, there will not be a program next week. It is Thanksgiving, obviously, but I'm going to be out all next week. We will catch with one of the performers on the following show, right before Postmodern Jukebox gets to Senatobia. We're scheduled to talk with Demi Remick. She's part of Postmodern Jukebox as a rhythmic tap dancer. So they play and have different options of music from days gone by to taking today's music and putting it in different forms along the way. Very entertaining. I've been watching several things. We will get that opportunity to talk to Demi and get it for you on the next show in 2 weeks. And then Postmodern Jukebox in Senatobia at the Heindl Center for the Performing Arts on December 5th. Do you need tickets? Here's what you do. HeindlCenter.org, HeindlCenter.org. You go, you look. All you got to do is figure out where you want to sit in that magic Moonlight and Mistletoe tour. That's where they're calling it. So world-class singers, dancers, instrumentalists, they'll do all kinds of things, putting different twists on the pop hits. So go check it out. Get yourself a seat or look into what's coming up next and see if you can't get out in that spring schedule. And a holiday idea, too. Go get gift cards, or you can just get tickets and present to someone. A lot of great things coming up. HeindlCenter.org. We're off, we're running, and it is a Bank First Ranger Hour. Dr. John Hagan is the District Director of Fine Arts. We'll talk with him. We have art sales. We have Christmas parades. We have musical theater. We have holiday concerts. We have a lot to get to with Dr. Hagan. And then we'll finish up in the world of athletics. Northwest football, a 16-13 win over Mississippi Gulf Coast to win another Region 23 and a MACCC championship. And wide receiver coach Scott Oakley is going to be on. We'll talk about all of that winning on the field, players, what's next, all with Coach Oakley coming up too. But at 9:15, take a little pause, and we'll get that fine arts instruction coming your way next.
This hour is Everything Northwest, your connection to Northwest Mississippi Community College, and powered by Bank First. Thanks for joining us on the Bank First Ranger Hour. Join the conversation now by texting 662-426-1093.
Well, change of plans. I'll tell you a little bit about one of the things or two of the things going on in the world of fine arts. Unable to connect with Dr. Hagan, and we've got Scott Oakley next up, coming up in the next segment, Northwest wide receivers coach. And so I'll tell you that today it has started the Le Fall Christmas Arts Sale, as it started at the Fine Arts Gallery on the Senatobia campus at 8. What they do each and every year is, with this art sale, original works from current students, and you could have things like drawings, prints, photos, paintings. They do pottery, there's sculpture. There's a little bit of everything there, and give you that opportunity to purchase, those one-of-a-kind pieces that students have worked so hard and want to do for the rest of their life. It is gift-giving time, right? It is the time to start thinking about that. And so today the art sale is going on. The holiday art sale is there. Students have been working for who knows how long to provide, their pieces. And at the Fine Art Gallery today, it gives the students a chance to see, what it's like to sell some of that artwork and how to maybe get that business rolling and things for what they want to do in the future. So if you're on that Northwest campus and you are thinking of gifts for someone, maybe just want something for yourself, right? The art sale is going on at the Fine Arts Art Gallery on the Northwest campus as we speak. And there are plenty of other things going on in the Northwest world as far as fine arts are concerned. We talked to a lot of the different people inside that department when musical theater's going on, you've got concerts coming up, or the different things that might be going on. Best thing for you to do, and much like I did, you can go to northwestms.edu. You can read up on that annual Christmas art sale, and then, of course, keep up with the other things that will be going on, because throughout the next couple of weeks, there'll be the Holiday Musical Theater Showcase. There'll be other music department concerts throughout the holidays. There are all kinds of things that you can do. And then the next semester, it will just continue inside the fine arts department. If you're interested or you have children that are thinking about the program of fine arts, again, northwestms.edu. It's easy to roll through, and then you just go to the programs and departments, and you can find whatever you're looking for. Not just fine arts, but you can find whatever it might be, and then, boom, take off. All programs and pathways are there for you, and we will give you that opportunity to do that at northwestms.edu. So, friends, we have a lot of different things going on in that world, and we hope you can check it out and do that and go to a lot of these events, whether it's the art sale today or it is any of the choirs or the performances that will be going on, and you can find all that information, support them, whether they're in the current art gallery, whether they're going to be in the Fine Arts Auditorium or at the Heindl Center or wherever. You will be able to watch and see some of them in your Christmas parades soon with marching bands getting out and do that. Boy, I remember those times. Rolling through and going to different portions of North Mississippi and doing those. Support the fine arts. Northwest Community College has a great program. northwestms.edu is your number that you should check it out there on the website. All right, 9:25. We'll move into athletics next.
Thanks for listening to the Bank First Ranger Hour, your connection to Northwest Mississippi Community College on SuperTalk Mississippi 93.7 and streaming live at supertalknorthms.com. Just click on the link for the Bank First Ranger Hour.
Closing in on 9:30 for this Bank First Ranger Hour, Thursday, November 20th edition. And let's get into the world of athletics. They did it again. By knocking off Gulf Coast 16-13. Northwest football champions the state of Mississippi. That gets them in the top 4 in the country. I don't know how many trophies this is now. Let's talk about it. Wide receiver Coach Scott Oakley's on the line. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, Gary, man. How you, brother?
Good. Y'all got a carpenter that can build a brand new case to put all these things in?
Well, we got a very good one here on campus. Keep Stanley busy, and hey, we always welcome new hardware. You know, it's hard to get it, but we're excited about where we are.
Sure. We were talking about this off the air, and the battle that every athletic program has within the state of Mississippi. Once I'm done with you and I start talking about women's soccer, there are 4 teams left, to play for a national championship, and 3 are out of the state of Mississippi in Division II. You guys are dealing with that. Everybody was ranked along the way in these battles. Discuss a little bit what it takes from Coach Parker throughout all your staff and everything at Northwest to continue to compete and in your game, in the game of football.
Well, for us, Gary, it starts at the top with our administration, man. Just with Dr. Heindl and his leadership and his vision for our college and where he's taken us. Northwest has always been a top community college in the state of Mississippi, but what's going on campus, from academic buildings to the Heindl Center to athletic facilities, it's all correlation to a lot of hard work, unbelievable vision and support. It's just it takes everybody, and to be at the top and then to remain at the top, it's just it's a grind, and as anybody that's ever been successful, it's one of those things that leadership and hard work between Dr. Heindl and Coach Parker does a great job with the football program, and in just so many aspects between our girls soccer teams and playing in the semifinals of the national semifinals. They kick off this morning at 10. So and all the other sports, it's just it's a group effort, and it just goes hand in hand with our school as far as academics and athletics. Man, it's just everybody pulling in the same direction, and I just can't say enough great things about Dr. Heindl and what he's done to get everybody on board and going in the same direction as a team, as we use that word around here in the football program. I think that's what the institution is. It's a team. So a lot of credit to our administrators and what's been accomplished here.
Talking to Coach Oakley, and you've had to win games in a myriad of ways, right? You lost the game way early in September at East Mississippi, but then reel off all the wins and get to the playoffs. And, man, I don't know where to begin, even with the one at Colin. But obviously you got that one, and then, you've won it offensively, and then sometimes you're an offensive coach, but you got to win it defensively, and you did that against Mississippi Gulf Coast.
No doubt, Gary. Our defense has been outstanding, led by Coach Andrews all year long, man. They've shown up, and a lot of, sophomore leadership on that team, guys that played sparingly last year and now have stepped into the front of what Coach Andrews is trying to do on defense, and then, go down there. We score with a minute and a half left in the game at Colin, and then Elliott Helps, young man that just grown tremendously, makes a once-in-a-lifetime play, picks off a pass in the end zone. And we got to say, it takes what it takes around here, at the end of the day, whether it's coaching or playing, and so, and doing your job is the key part to that. And I think any group that's successful, you got individuals, but at the end of the day, it's all about doing your individual job and doing it the best you can. And, we got a bunch of guys here that put their head down as far as players and go to work and don't really care who gets the credit. So when you got guys like that, it's, you can look up at the end of the game, and most of the time you're going to have a chance to be successful, whether that's winning a championship or just winning in life. So I think that's what Coach Parker does an outstanding job of trying to get good people. You can have good football players, but you need really good people, and people's the key word in any institution. And so I think we got a bunch of really good kids that work hard and have bought into the do your job mentality, and so it's benefited us for sure.
3 phases of the game. Tell us about Hayden Wolf, because you win 16-13, and his foot gives the 3-point difference.
No doubt. Hayden's been a constant for us for the last 2 years, man. Just a kid that works his tail off, deserves all the credit he got. I think he made a 51, a 46, and a 20, or 47 and a 26. He's averaging about 40 yards per punt. I think he had 2 or 3 kickoffs in the end zone. So just an outstanding young man, a guy that is really good at what he does, and he's got a great operation, got a team that goes with him, Joey Colella, who's his long snapper, and Wyatt Bond, who's his holder. So those young men are just exceptional, man, and it goes back to the team thing we talk about. We try to win 2 out of 3 phases of the game, and special teams is definitely one, and Hayden's just been an outstanding addition the last 2 years for us as a team, man, and he takes pride in what he does, and those teams that don't have those type guys, oftentimes they're not fortunate enough to come out on top. We're fortunate we got Hayden, and he's a really good kicker, man, and he's an exceptional young man as well. So just really talented, really proud for him. When you see kids put in the work and in the pressure zone, I like to say he's got ice water in his veins, Gary. He's got that mentality, and that ain't always natural. When the spotlight's on you, man, what you going to do? So Hayden's just done really well for us, and can't say enough great things about him and that operation of the punt and field goal that we always need to be really good, and they are. So thankful for them.
10-1 through the season for Northwest football, number 4 in the country. Coach Scott Oakley starting with us. 18 of you guys made the All-Mississippi North half, but Defensive Player of the Year, all kinds of things going on. Let's talk individually. What about your group, the wide receivers group? We'll see them, obviously, we hope, announced on Monday playing another game in a Ranger uniform, but, you've got them filtered in D1 schools and in other places in the past. What name or 2 would you like to share that we need to be paying attention to?
Well, I got 3 sophomores who's really, been the kind of heart and soul of that group, led by Keon Hutchins, kid out of Union, Mississippi. It's been offered by West Virginia and Kentucky and Arkansas, Mizzou, and Kansas State. So it's going to have his pick as far as that goes. And then I got a kid by the name of Michael Johnson from Enterprise, Alabama, and Britton Traylor from Olive Branch. And all 3 of those guys, they're different in their own way, but they paid they paid their dues. They saw it the year before, and it was their time to step up, and those guys have stepped up, and I couldn't be more proud of those guys, man. They worked their tails off. And all I ask my guys, be consistent. At the end of the day, be consistent, and at the end, you got to work hard in anything you do, but just be consistent with who you are. Show up every day, ready to work, ready to learn, and play. The ball comes your way sometimes. You may go a game and it may not come your way, but hey, Colin, M.J. Johnson, he had 6 or 7 catches. You know, in Northeast, we don't win that game without Britton Traylor. Keon Hutchins has made, you know, huge plays all season long. So, you know, I mean, obviously defenses dictate how successful, you know, you may be in whatever coverages they're running or that kind of stuff. But, you know, you just got to be steady. And then we've had some freshman guys contribute well. So, just really proud of that group, man, and they're good people. That's what I love about those young men. They're gonna be somebody where football's there or not. And at the end of the day, that's my biggest hope for those young men, that they grow up and be good fathers and good dads, you know, and good husbands, and one day maybe they'll think about Coach Oakley and just hey, doing things right, man. That's all I want these young men to do, and give them an upper hand on somebody else in this whole world, because it's tough out there.
There's no doubt. You got the win on Saturday afternoon. What has been going on? Because now you got to wait till Monday, correct? Is that when the selection committee makes it official?
I believe that's right, Gary. It was Sunday or Monday, so we'll kind of know where we're headed, you know, after Sunday. Right now, it's no days off, man. We're lifting. We're running around trying to don't want all we work for to go to waste, you know, so you're trying to keep guys sharp and skills sharp as far as that goes, trying to just keep their bodies in shape where, you know, obviously we got Thanksgiving break coming up, and so it's going to require us, you know, probably practice a little bit during the break and then send them home, you know, and bring them back to Sunday after Thanksgiving. And we'll probably have 2 or 3 days to practice here at Northwest, and Wednesday will probably be a travel day if we play on the 5th. And, you know, so we'll travel probably, you know, it's looking, unless polls change, it's looking like either Hutch or Iowa Western. So, you know, those top 2 teams in the country. But, you know, we've been fortunate, I think, Gary, out of the last 5 years that maybe they've had this playoff. Maybe I think we've made it either 3 or 4 years. You know, it all runs together for me the older I get. But, you know, just exceptional precedent set by our kids and coaches staff to make it that far. I think Iowa Western and ourselves are the, you know, probably the ones that have been in that top 4 rankings. I think the last 5 years that has been existent. But, you know, it's always a great honor to be thrown in that top 5 and have a chance to play for a national title and represent the state of Mississippi. So, you know, at the end of the day, whether you play 1 or you play 2, or you're going to have to beat them either way. So, you know, at the end of the day, hey, let's tee it up, let's get ready, and you know, let's go see what happens, and hopefully we represent Mississippi well and get state of Mississippi something to be proud about.
Absolutely. You know, you talked about the older you get. When I was looking at the bio, I realized how older I'm getting, right? Because I've known you for a long time, Coach Oakley, and you've been at Northwest and had a great run there on that coaching staff for a few years. We'll just leave it at that. You've done a tremendous job. We appreciate you joining us today, and we'll keep up. I will be back in 2 weeks to do another Ranger Hour, hopefully talking about where Northwest is playing football and what they're doing. Thanks, my friend.
Hey, thanks, Gary. Always a pleasure, man. Go Rangers, and I appreciate all you do for us, brother.
Thank you. That's our friend Scott Oakley. He is wide receiver coach there at Northwest. And his Rangers, Coach Parker, the leader of the group, and others just waiting to see the announcement. And as I was talking with him, I pulled it up on the NJCAA site, and it looks like selection show is on Monday for those. Now, the top 4 go. And in the very last poll that was put out for this week, Hutchinson, Kansas, number 1 at 9-0. They got all of the first place votes. Iowa Western is number 2. Tyler, Texas, number 3. And Northwest, number 4. Georgia Military at 10-1 moved to number 5. So I guess technically things could change, but unless some of these teams lose, and that's possible because the number 1 team, Hutchinson, Kansas, is playing Garden City, Kansas Community College on Saturday. trying to win their state of Kansas, which also has really good community college football. So they are playing. Iowa Western is 9-1, and Iowa Western has a game also on Saturday. They're playing Highland Community College. And then Tyler, Texas is currently 10-0 on the year, and they have a game on Saturday against Northeastern Oklahoma A&M. So the top three teams all have games on the schedule, and technically, with losses, things could change for Northwest in the polls. So it is in the books. The old saying, hay's in the barn, right? Northwest has done the work. They've done all they can do. They finished 10-1. They won the MACCC. It's there. So now it's just where and when. And then we'll talk about that on the next show. But another shout out to the Northwest football team for another tremendous job. 10-1. Brought more hardware back to Senatobia, winning it in Senatobia over Gulf Coast 16-13 on Saturday. Now it's just what's next? Well, what's next in basketball? The women's basketball team, 5-2 on the year, coming off of a win Tuesday night, 90-39 over Arkansas State Mid-South. They will be hosting a Holiday Classic tomorrow and Saturday. Two Texas teams have made their way here, and it will be tomorrow night, 7:30, against Trinity Valley, a team they've already played in Paris, Texas, and had a 69-65 loss last Friday in the state of Texas. Now they'll meet in Senatobia a week later. So 7:30 tomorrow night, and then Saturday at 4, Kilgore College out of Texas will be the opponent for Northwest. So a couple of women's basketball games tomorrow night, 7:30, and then Saturday at 4 for you to go take part in. 5-2 and 2 straight wins. After losing that game to Trinity Valley, they beat Blinn College in that event in Texas, and then Arkansas State Mid-South. The Northwest men, they currently are 4-2 on the year, and also coming off a win over Arkansas State Mid-South, 112-108. They are in Bay Minette, Alabama, today against Coastal Alabama South, and then tomorrow afternoon against Bishop State in the Coastal Alabama Classic. So there is basketball on the road for the Northwest men. Next time they're in Senatobia, December 4. So a long time before they're back playing at Howard Coliseum. They'll play these 2 games and then open up December in Newport, Arkansas. For the Northwest women, they play these 2 games, and then they're off till the end of the month on the 29th in Dyersburg. You can catch both schedules at nwccrangers.com. Now to Coach Beatty and the women's soccer team. 19-1-1, and won their way through the state of Mississippi again, got into the national championship tournament of Division II. Pool B is where they were put as the number 2 seed. And after knocking off Southern Union in the first match, they got a 2-0 win over 15th-ranked Iowa Lakes, getting a pair of goals from Caroline Perkins and Caroline Ham. And then the defense kept the clean sheet. And so they win both games in their pool to advance. And they will now play number 7 Jones College out of the state of Mississippi. They upset the number 1 team in the event, Johnson County Community College, in Pool A. Now, Northwest and Jones kick off in 13 minutes. This event going on in Wichita, Kansas. But they Kickoff at 10. Northwest has played Jones and beaten Jones twice, 6-1 in the regular season and then 3-0 in the Region 23 championship. So trying to beat them for a third time and trying to beat them in a semifinal game in which they could move to a national championship match, trying to defend. Got to win today first. But on the other side, it's Holmes Community College, obviously a Mississippi school, and number 4 Heartland. They're in the other semifinal that will be played at 12:30 today. So Northwest, as I mentioned, at 19-1-1, Holmes gave Northwest their only loss, 2-1. That came in mid-October. And the Rangers also played Heartland, the other team, way back in September. On September 5th, they went to an event in St. Louis and played Heartland there and won 5-3. So they are familiar with all of the opponents that are left, and it's vice versa, right? So good luck to the women's soccer team, kicking it off at 10, and you can go to nwccrangers.com. I'm clicking on everything as we talk. You click on the schedule, my friends, and when you do that, you scroll on down, you can keep up with everything that's going on in the match. I think if you want to watch this one, you've got to go to the NJCAA site, do some things to keep up with it that way. But you can get live stats, different things going on, and we'll see. Can they beat Jones for the third time and advance to the national championship match in Wichita? Another great season for this women's soccer team. 19-1-1. They've won 8 straight after the loss to Holmes. So it is Northwest and Jones at 10. Holmes and Heartland will play at 12:30. And then winners will meet after that. So good luck to all of the sports teams that are out and about doing their things as well. Because there's a lot of different things happening besides the ones that I just mentioned to you in the world of sports. You can go read the Northwest women's soccer players that won all MACCC, the football players that did it, 18 football players, 6 soccer players. You can keep up with the Ranger basketball games that are coming up today, tomorrow, and the rest of the weekend, whatever you're looking for at nwccrangers.com. And we are about ready to exit and move. Northwest Rodeo is doing things this weekend at Murray State, so there's whatever you want. You can keep up with it. But that will shut down our Bank First Ranger Hour here on Thursday, November 20. Remember, no show next week, no shows at all next week. We'll be back the week after that. We'll have Demi Remick, who is scheduled to be on with us. She's one of the performers in the Postmodern Jukebox that will be coming to Senatobia on December 5. So hopefully we'll be able to talk with her and get you information on what will be going on stage in December at the Heindl Center. Enjoy Thursday. I'll try to do the same. We'll come back and meet about 9:06 in the morning. Until then, my friends, so long.
Now the time has come for leaving, fear now we shall return. We were so glad we could make it, but so sad.